Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Cigar Talk. Special episode. It's the first one of the new year. We're getting back on track, bringing out real topics with real people, discussing real issues, and might even come to a real solution. So how everybody doing? Let me ask that first off. Like, how we doing? I'm
Oh, I'm
excited
blessed,
for
man. We straight.
2024.
Doing great.
Doing well, brother. Doing well, brother.
I can tell, man, you got a cashmere sweat on.
Listen. This is panda. This is panda. You know what I'm
All right, so I think it's only fitting for our first topic. I think one of the common things that get discussed around this time of year is New Year's resolutions. I just wanted to kind of get everybody's opinions on it, what you think some pros and cons of it is. How do you feel like it's been effective for you to create New Year's resolution or vice versa?
saying? I believe it's always great to strive for I guess like I wouldn't say necessarily a new goal, but to strive for something for something for the betterment of yourself, you know. But so always just getting 0.1% better than the day before is always a goal. But I feel like the con always in that is just waiting until January 1st. You know what I'm saying? So this year, instead of on January 1st, stamp, you know, it's like, okay, why January 1st? Why not build the momentum in October and November? So by the time January here, I'm in full swing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just been always in, okay, well, it's July 1st. So let me, on first next year, I'm just going to start now, I'll just get that ball rolling. So by the time that new year hit, we already in full swing. There's nothing I need to adjust to. The adjustment is already a habit by the time the new year hit, you know. So that'll be the only con, you know, just I got to wait until the actual new year hit, you know. But it's always great to, you know, have new goals, new aspirations, you know, something to keep your blood flowing.
Yeah. I kind of agree with what Chris saying. It's like for me, I really try not to look at like, like, oh man, this is a resolution. Well, we got this time, Rick. It's like, man, just try to put one foot in front of the other and be one step better than you was before. I think on like the wire, it's funny because like I forgot when Avon was talking to Stringer, he's like, it's two things about jail: the first day you go in and the first day you get out. And it's kind of like the same thing when you talk about life. It's like, you know, it was yesterday and then that's today. It was like the day you had before and a new day and a new opportunity that you got right now. So that's kind of really how I look at life, man. I try not to set resolutions because if you try to set like a specific goal or a specific thing, you tend to normally fail. But if you just try to be one step better than you was the day before, it's usually a great output.
Yeah, you know me, I'm gonna piggyback off of both of you. I agree with both of you guys. I don't believe in New Year's resolution. I think that's straight failure. Just straight for failure. I feel like the only people who come up with these New Year's resolutions is people who ain't successful. Those are just people who just waiting for the end of the year, want to say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that." Like that's just another day. It's just another day. Why you not setting these? They're looking at the big goal. You look at the big goal with New Year's resolution. Most people, I'm gonna get married this year, but you're not even committing. You set a commitment or something like that. So you're not setting these realistic goals. A realistic goal is each day get better each day. Not I'm gonna wait till this new year. It's just another day. Now I'm gonna set this big goal for myself. So I feel like that's just to me it's crazy. Like I laugh at stuff like that. Because people always come up with these big goals on the end goal. I'm getting a house this year, but we ain't even got an apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. That's kind of like for me, that's one of the cons in it. When I look at a New Year's resolution, starting a new year, I kind of go in reverse and I take a look at the months previous to it. So, and it's not speaking for everybody, but it's a very common factor in it that most of the time when people get mid-October, that's the turnoff point for them. Just kind of like in around the holidays, it's easy to get diverted and get not focused on what you're supposed to be doing. And then you get to close to that December 25th and after Christmas, and you just like, man, I'm about to turn it back on or whatever. So it's just like the problem I see with the New Year's resolution is that it's just like it's set up for a 9-month hustle, which can be cool if you where you want to be or whatever. But for the majority of individuals who may be starting from the bottom or whatever, 3 months is a lot of time to be sacrificed to try to hit your goals. And I agree with you, DJ. Like the goals are massive. Like one of the more common goals that people set for New Year's is related to health. Like I want to lose 40 pounds in 2 months. That's a lot. Like you know what I mean? And it's not to say it hasn't been done before, but it's unmotivating because what happens is you've been working out, learning how to work out, learning how to diet for a month, and you lose 8 pounds. In my book, I'm gonna clap it up for you. But for you, because you set your goal so high or whatever, you feel like you ain't really moving on the scale or whatever because you done set this whole massive goal. And what happens is March rolls around, you get unmotivated. I ain't lose that 40. 8 pounds. If you look up what 8 pounds of fat look like or whatever, that's a hell of an accomplishment or whatever. And so I think it's just like I say, kind of like managing the goal. Don't have big goals. Don't get me wrong or whatever. If your overall goal is to lose 40, but focus on tackling it 1 pound at a time. So.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to me. That's crazy. So I see all these posts. Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this. Man, you ain't lost a weight. You ain't lost 1 pound in a year.
Yeah.
Are you gonna lose, like you said, 40 pounds? That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like I get people sparingly or whatever who is like reach out to me like on a health kick type of thing or whatever. Hey bro, what you doing? Stay in shape or whatever. And I'd be like, and so I used to get frustrated, right? Because I look at it differently now because I'm older or whatever. And I just like, I don't do nothing. I tell them or whatever because they'd be like, send me a workout. And I was just like, I don't even have a workout for myself or whatever. It's not work. It's not a special workout. It's consistency in it. And I tell them, I've been doing this since I was 20 years old, like or whatever. Like, and it's just putting in time and commitment. Has it been times that I fell off? Of course. Has it been time I don't went months straight and was going hard? Yes, or whatever. But I've been doing this for a long time or whatever. So like that's the difference or whatever. It's just get consistent with it or whatever. And I tell them like it ain't no workout. Work out 3 times a week for 6 months straight. You will see a tremendous change in your health. And that's physical and a mental perspective. Because a mental perspective is what you need because you're gonna eventually reach a stage where you're gonna go look at yourself, man, my body ain't changing. That's when your mental part of it kick in or whatever, like and you really find out why you're doing it, you know? So all right.
Real life.
Yeah. So going into our next topic, this is a big one right here. Like I know one of my podcast friends on here, he's a big fan of this gentleman, so he might have a lot to say. Jonathan Majors, what are y'all takeaways from everything that has unfolded since the case is done?
Well, I'm gonna go last because I'm not.
Huh?
I don't know nothing about it, so I'll let y'all go ahead.
Let me jump in real quick. I don't keep up with too much celeb news, but I can say, so I really don't know too much about it either, but I can say is the truth always come out. The more successful you get, the easier for the truth to come out. I don't know if it's true or what's going on with it too much. That's all I can say. The more successful you get, the easier it is to come out, and then you're a bigger target. So,
yeah, I think the truth eventually come out, even if you're unsuccessful. To be honest with you,
true. But I'm saying it's easier. It's easier, but when you get successful, it's more for them people to target you. But yeah, it's always going to come out. It's always going to come out.
But sometimes it's not necessarily their truth that has to come out to get somebody in a situation. They say it's 3 sides to a story.
Yeah.
Might go viral off this one.
But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. But I hear this video and everything. So I don't know. I need to look into it and I need to do some more research about it. So I know Mr. Shepard over there. He's smiling, so I'm pretty sure he got a lot to say about it. Yeah.
I know we talked about some interesting topics or whatever, and I thought it was something good to actually bring up because I remember previously on one of the topics we talked about is if we was put in a situation around domestic violence, what would be our reaction? So that's why, and this kind of revolves around that because a high percentage of men would say that he did the right thing based on the video footage that took place. I can't speak for the other stuff as far as like we kind of made it viral by laughing at him running away or whatever, but like, what was his other option?
Can you kind of tell what like a little bit of what's going on with it? Like the people who don't know, kind of like me who really don't. Like I seen a video, but I really don't know like what he was in a altercation with his woman or something. I should have did
Yes.
some more research on it, but yeah.
So, and then correct me if I'm wrong, Ricky. So I think they were coming back from a night of going out. Some drinking may have been involved in it, and they got into an argument. I think it was related to some infidelity on his part. They had an argument, and then supposedly it was some exchange of touching of some sort. I don't know if it was blows or not, but she did have a laceration. I want to say behind her ear and on her finger. And he also had a cut on his face as well. In the video, where they were showing the video footage, he kind of lifted her and put her back into the vehicle, and looks like he kind of like closed the door and literally jogged away, and she started chasing him down the street.
Yeah, so it's some correction in there. So like I mean, I try not to get into too much celeb news, but you know, I mean, shit, it's hard not to. It's intoxicating. But yeah, so like they hadn't even went to the club yet. And I'm sure the internet will correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty much what happened was, it's quote unquote, she caught him laughing. He was already like basically texting and entertaining somebody else, and she saw it, and that's how the phone situation came back. It's like, you know, you chilling with your boys, you're in your 20s, and you know, you're like, man, I got this girl, bro. And then next thing you know, you with your actual other person, and that same girl is texting you. And so she had the phone and she seen that. And with it being already a toxic relationship, uh, she just exploded. But at the same time, you know, he was trying to get his phone back because he's a celeb and other things might take place that most commoners don't know about. So obviously he want to have his phone and not have it in her hands because that could be detrimental for something later. And so in trying to do such, you know, I think he tried to, in a lot of his sentiments, he tried to shield her from public light by, you know, making a fool of herself. But at the same time, he doing it to himself because that's the person he chose. So,
yeah, and you know, another thing, Ricky, I thought about too is listening to the video where he was arguing and he brought up like she needs to be more like Coretta Scott King, right? And I think as men, we have to be very careful especially when we personally tell the woman we dating to be some other woman. You know what I mean? Because you basically, you know what I mean? You basically take this pedestal and put this woman right here or whatever. And when you do that, most women don't feel like, hey, I need to chase this woman's greatness or whatever. It's like you basically tell them like, you not being the idea of, I'm not the idea of the woman you're looking for. And so I think I had to put some blame back on him or whatever, is that he's in a position where he has options, and he should have stepped away from her and just told her like, hey, let's just go our separate directions. Let me find the one I'm looking for instead of letting it kind of divert to what it is or whatever. But like I said, he's still a young man. He in his 30s or whatever, so it's a live and you learn situation or whatever. But because it's easy to find those answers when you either on the outside of it looking at somebody else's issue, but when you're going through it, it's totally different. So
shit, yeah, he about to mess up my bag. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm sorry. Like I said, America, we might go viral because I'm gonna take a Charles Barkley type approach. But what's crazy is they went to the club later. Well, she was at the club later, with the lacerations and a broken hand or whatever may have alleged been broken. She was at the club later after the incident. So in my right mind, if I'm battling the Terminator and I go to war with the Terminator and I run from the Terminator and I go to the club later and the Terminator is there, that tells me I don't need to be hanging around the Terminator. This is a powerful person. If we went through all of this, you show up and you turn it up at 2 a.m. later, and then I find that, you're unconscious or passed out. So, I mean, that's just a sentiment of the story. Like, well, goddamn, what am I really dealing with here? Is this person immortal, or are they trying to sabotage my career? Did I sabotage my own career by doing this to myself? It's a lot. And, when the bag is on the line, well, for somebody who's really talented, it's just unfortunate that you get put in that situation, and then, like you said, you got to take yourself out of that situation, and you can't.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what hits me more, because I look at him, like he's a black man, I'm a black man or whatever, and he's basically we was watching somebody literally grow into the peak of their career. He had so much that was moving forward. You look at what he had going on with Marvel. I hear he was going to play Dennis Rodman in a movie that was upcoming or whatever. Like, he's playing these very big roles, but they vast roles. Like, can't anybody do that? You know what I mean? Like, he's a very talented person or whatever. Like, or whatever. And it's just unfortunate. I do think he's gonna bounce back. I don't know what that looks like. I'm not saying he's gonna bounce back and be Will Smith in his prime. I think someone will take a chance on him. And it most likely it won't, like, I mean, I ain't saying Steven Spielberg or whatever, but maybe like Ice Cube or somebody gonna take a chance on him, man.
I ain't saying he gonna be a Tubi, none of that. He ain't gonna be
I mean, he might, you gotta, you really love the art and craft, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I know. Like I say, he gonna be if Robert Downey Jr. got another chance, man, they gotta give that brother another chance. But at the same time, you gotta put the work back in and start from the ground
Robert Downey Jr. Not them ages. That's two different people.
That's why I said it.
You dropped them all the way down to two from Marvel. That's a big drop off.
But
hey, man, we
yeah.
Hey man, we need for the culture. We need that Dennis Rodman biopic, because that thing gonna be worse than flat out playing Michael Jackson.
No, I think he's gonna kill it.
Nah, he got canceled. He got canceled as Dennis. They canceled him as the Dennis Rodman biopic.
Damn. So listen, that was gonna be cinema.
Yeah, because I think they said he was gonna do the part. You remember when Dennis Rodman like stepped away from, like, I think it was the playoffs and went to Las Vegas or something. I think that was gonna be the basis of the movie, talking about it, basically his time when he went away from playoffs to go party in Vegas or whatever.
That's when he put that dress on and married himself, or that's a different period?
I don't even know. I'm not even sure on that one. I don't know.
He put a dress on.
That was
Vegas is when he was on them drugs, man. Just say it is what it is, man. From what I see outside looking in, that's what that boy was going through, man. Boy, I seen the Michael Jordan one. That's when he had all them strippers coming in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Dennis Rodman was ahead of his time. That's what I'm gonna say. Because I say that because, I can't like look at him and determine his masculinity, right? Because, like,
I know where you're going.
Because if you look at your big artists, if you look at what Drake is doing now with the whole painting of the nails and stuff like that, if you look at your rappers, Lil Yachty or whatever, the coloring of his hair, Dennis Rodman kind of set the tone for all that stuff, whether you want to give him credit or not. Like I'm just saying, or whatever, like that, or whatever, like. and even with Dennis Rodman doing all that stuff, I ain't never look at Dennis Rodman and just like, I think he's less of a man. I still think he was a masculine man who was just doing crazy stuff.
I mean, people be forgetting, bro. Prince used to have his ass out, and women love Prince.
Boy, Prince had chaps on. Shit, if you know what
listen, it was still divorce your woman and take her.
Yeah.
But he got his ass out, okay? It's Prince. And they'll walk off with her. What kind of shit is that? I got on pants. Cover.
A 5'3" dude in heels pulling up on you with straps and taking your girl.
And can play every instrument. Like, how you? What can you do? You know what I mean? Like, just, you know what? You go ahead on. Go ahead and take it.
I'm just gonna go home, baby.
Right.
Go home. I'll be home when you get back.
Right. I'm about to go home and put on Purple Rain. I'm not dealing with it.
Right. The light's gonna be on when you come home.
And he can hoop. You already seen Dave Chappelle tell you he can hoop. I mean, what you gonna do with this man?
Right. Boy got a jumper too. Shit. This man can't be stopped.
Oh yeah, he could legit hoop though. That's for real. I looked up some footage. He could hoop.
I'm
gonna show you, bro. He could hoop. You be like, goddamn, ain't that a bitch?
I'll be there. I've been Prince put me in the ISO and put me.
Hey, you talking stuff, but I bet you Cat Williams can beat all y'all in running.
That's not saying nothing.
Hey, leave that man alone. Listen, leave that man alone. Leave that man alone. I love Cat Williams. Shit, don't come in my.
We'll say you got to tell him no. You got to tell him no.
Hey, that was epic, man. That was the way to start the year off right there, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we can jump into our next one. So,
Chris, have you ever been swallowed?
Have you been in a place of swallowing? I was like, what sermon did TDJ say that, bro? I listen. Come on now.
I want to be swallowed.
So if you're starting over at 18 again, right? Just putting yourself in a mind frame of 18. Should you be focused on chasing your passion or chasing the bag?
Shit, at 18, I wanted to be swallowed.
Yeah, I mean, same.
True.
So, and you know, I thought a lot on it, right? Because for me, I'm gonna have to say the bag, and the reason is because at 18. I don't know. I just didn't have a passion for something in a sense. At least not nothing that was like longevity to like the wealth of my life type of passion or whatever like that or whatever. Like I would say chase the bag. I think putting emphasis on doing, first of all, it's a lot to take away from it. So let's say you just you 18, you get a job, $30,000 or whatever, and you get another job working part-time or whatever, and you make 15. Let's say you're bringing in 45 for the year. If I had to do it all over again, right? I'd have stayed in my grandma's house. I'd have gave my grandma a little bit. Let's say I gave her, let's just say 10 out of the 35 or whatever, just to put towards the bills or whatever, and I'm stacking the other 30 or whatever. In 3 years, you got 90 grand. And I say that to say that because, like, let's say you want to go to school. What's the sacrifice? 3 years, 90 grand. If you really want to go to school, let's see if you want to go to school if you pay for it out of pocket. Because if we're being real, most people went because they thought it was free money from a financial aid standpoint or whatever. I think you look at it differently if you got the money to kind of endorse your own education. I would definitely, I would definitely, for me, chase the bag. I wouldn't have jumped off the porch so fast. I think I allow society to create this idea for me that, all right, you 18, 19 years old, you got to get out the house. So first we got to get this car, then we got to get this apartment. And then you just find yourself living early on so above your means, and you really don't have to because it's better routes for yourself or whatever. And I think especially our culture, we get caught up in it so bad because I look at most Latin cultures or whatever, and we used to make fun of them when we was younger, but it'd be like 8 of them in the house or whatever, and they all hustling. You know what I mean? They all got these different income jobs or whatever, and they building on that or whatever, like that or whatever. Like, and just think about how much income we throw away from when you factor in partying, the cars, paying rent to apartments and stuff like that or whatever. Like that's thousands and thousands of dollars or whatever. And like I even look at it in the sense of like it's four of us right now. If we started all over at 18 or whatever, and we just said, hey, the hell with the apartment. If all of us got the bare minimum job and we all making $30,000 or whatever, we can go get a mortgage. We can all be in a 4-bedroom house.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and like, we could be paying you know what I mean? Like, and be paying a mortgage or whatever, and we be paying less than what we paid to rent apartments. And it's even the cost of living is way higher now or whatever. So like, it's just, if I did it all over again, I'd chase the bag and then I just like go hard on it. Like 5 or 6 days out of the week, I'm chasing the bag or whatever. Like, and then along the way, as I'm growing and learning myself and my personality and stuff like that, that passion stuff will come with what I'm passionate about, and I throw that in those extracurricular hours or whatever. So if I'm working 9 to 5 or whatever, shit, 6 to 9:30, Monday through Friday can be spent to that. Instead of that weekend of trying to get swallowed, I can be in here, you know what I mean, chasing my passion. You know what I mean? If I had to do it all over again or whatever, I think that's the route for me. I would go.
What
Yeah, you pick up interest along the way. Like it's even stuff as just as y'all was talking about skiing and snowboarding. Like before you do it, you be like, oh, we'll see. You're indifferent about it until you tried it. It's like, no, I'm really interested in this. So you pick up passions just like as you just explore and live life. So of course, yeah, I usually saying like out the two, the bag and the decision makings, that we were doing, at a younger age. Because even I think about it now, bro, if you would have put in 100, and I do mean 100 when Bitcoin first came out, this will be a whole different Zoom call. This will be a whole different temperature behind my back, and I'll be able to volunteer now. Just 100 in 2014 of Bitcoin. Back then, you let it sit. I think, yeah, set for life. But hindsight 2020. But yeah, chasing the bag and just the proper knowledge of just like you said, how cash flow and all the loopholes, bro. DJ, bro, that told me so much. Hey, bro, if you do this, that, and this, like they can't tax you on this, or if you do this, that, and that, there's a way around that. It's like it's so much shit just on the financial literacy literacy side that we didn't know too. On top of that, it's like, how in the hell does everybody drive a G wagon? Well, if you get a G wagon, you get a tax write off on that because it's a commercial vehicle. That you know what I'm saying? It's like it's so much shit we had to learn on our own, or somebody you knew that knew where to go. Of course, getting a bag, but just being knowledgeable just of everything around you is great too. You know.
Yeah, I think, man, it's an interesting soundbite with Eddie Griffin when somebody was interviewed, trickle down and let it come to you. And for me, like at 16, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just did. And I was like, happy hour, what kind of break y'all got? He said, about 2 hours. I said, man, what do y'all do? He said, engineers. I said, oh shit. And I Googled what engineers actually do and make. And it was just like, man, you mean I could make 100,000? I could make 300,000? And all my life, I thought 40,000 was a lot of money. But then once you start being in tech and understanding tech, you're like, man, most of these dudes, they venture off and start products and receive $1 million for their ideas or getting traction and stuff like that. So I feel like had I known, but you can't really look back and say, well, man, now that I know this now, man, shit, who I'd have been killing them back then with this knowledge. How purposeful would you have been with that knowledge? Would you been swallowed by the environment, or would you have let control the environment? It's a lot of responsibility and maturation with consuming that knowledge and actually putting it to
Yeah, I
use it.
wouldn't have been receptive. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
At 18,
So,
18 years old? Mm-mm.
yeah, that's what I say, bro. It's a lot. Like, bro, we was driving. I had 2020 rims with a, a goddamn TV in the middle of my car.
Yeah.
So you can't literally tell me, all right, I'm gonna give you $100,000 investment check, and I'm gonna get some progress
Yeah,
in 3
you
months. All right, all
Right,
right.
wasn't
Four
right.
gonna,
rims.
definitely wasn't gonna do the right thing with it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know how many parties we'd have had with it? Man,
so I definitely would have chased a bag, but I think I would have chased a bag if I probably for like relationships. Like if I feel like you chasing the bag, you'll get into a relationship that you need to be in. I feel like that's what I would do more. So I definitely would chase the bag because chasing the bag it brings relationship with the people that you need to be around, and that'll help with putting that money in. So
Yeah,
if you
and
did,
I think it all aligns these days, to be honest with you or whatever. Because when you focus like that, you end up the right people end up following in your lane. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because you moving different than the masses of people or whatever. So the right people start to notice you. It's just the nature of the beast. So
yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
I also would say passion is good too because I
mhm.
seen it with from looking outside looking in. I seen it with you, Avery. You started passion about working out, and you got into Herbalife, and that put you around a lot of people
Yeah.
with different mindsets, and
Oh,
then that
definitely.
got you into, and that I feel like that kind of got you into the mindset of where you at right now in life. So I
Yeah.
feel like chasing your passion does work a lot because
Hmm.
when I started seeing you passionate about working out, your relationship with us was still there, but you started venturing into another world with different relationships that helped you out, yeah, a lot. It made me definitely proud of you, brother. So
Yeah. Appreciate
I feel
it.
like that passion. I feel
Yeah.
like that passion
Oh yeah, it's
works
definitely
out.
important. I don't think I like really understood self-development, personal development until I started getting involved with those people or whatever. Because at first I thought they was just like trying to trick me or something like that or whatever. What you mean? What you mean I need to work?
Yeah,
What you mean I need to work on my mind? What are you talking about right now? Whatever. What you talking about this self-development? But it really opened doors for me. Especially network marketing, man. That's a challenging gig there, man, because especially if you used to just especially like young men growing up, whatever, they used to just being in certain circles, right? So network marketing says, no, you don't have a circle. You open up your area to everybody and you go associate yourself. It don't matter if y'all have something in common or not or whatever, like you go and associate yourself with that person. That was life changing for me. Because what happens is that that individual that you think is so different it got so much in common with you. Y'all not that far off or whatever. The upbringing may be different, the names may be different, the story is just told from different eyes or whatever, but you find commonality in it or whatever. And that's honestly that's what successful businesses are built off of or whatever. Like you look at the people that's like these co-owners or whatever, they'll look totally different or whatever, but the commonality is here and just having a conversation. And that was big for me, man. Like I think going through like Herbalife and stuff like that, network marketing, self-development, that really brought me out of this shell. And it was weird, right? Because like it wasn't one of them things you can do 1 foot in and 1 foot out, is what I learned quickly, is because and I say that because it showed in my business. You know what I mean? Like when I wanted to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out, I just wasn't moving as good as the other people, whatever. And I'm like, why? Even though in the back of my mind, I know why or whatever, like, but I'm trying to convince myself that I can do both or whatever. But I had to fully immerse myself in it and just say, this is who I'm going to be. And you're going to accept me for it or you're not. And then that's when things start to take off for me or whatever. And that's when like these big masses are like fit camps and all this stuff or whatever, like this or whatever. And it was just like, it just happened. Like I didn't even have an expectation or whatever. I just started being the person that I wanted around me or whatever, and it just started to blow up for me. So that was a big turning point for me.
yeah.
All right, so going into our last topic here. Do we believe that understanding our partner's love language is a critical part of the success of the relationship? Whoever wants to start. Yes, sir. Pick me.
No, man, I honestly I really hate that word, man, because it's like a marketing ploy on what we used to call it back in the 90s when we had classic golden R&B and all that stuff. All it was TLC, man. And to rephrase that question, do I think tender love and care is an important success to our partner's relationship? Absolutely, hell yeah. Touch, loving, affection, making sure that your partner's cared for and understanding the conditions that they are in mentally and physically. Yeah, because my wife always tell me, she'd be like, "You don't know my love language." I say, yo, what?
Mm-hmm.
My love language? It's like, explain that shit to me like I'm a 5-year-old. TLC, that's really it. You know, there's so many love languages, you can't really choose one. But when you say tender love and care, you can apply that principle. You know, if the Chiefs playing and we put a clinic on them boys and your wife start talking and she starts zoning out and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's my wife. You know, this game is important, but, you know, I can listen to her real quick. All she wants is some attention. And, you
Shout
know,
out to
just,
the Houston Texans.
yeah, master them boys. But I think it's important, man. Long story short, I think it's important because you can't have one without the other. And the more that you listen to your partner and understand your partner's needs, they'll cater to your needs as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this connection and this bond. So absolutely, I think it's important.
Yeah,
Good point.
I was put on. Well, I really didn't know nothing about it until college, and she was like, "Do you know your love language?" It's like love language. I was like, love language. Let me see if I know off top. What is it? Physical touch, quality time, acts of service,
and gifts. Yeah.
Gifts, and words of affirmation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. And then of course they break it down and what each one means, whatever. And as Rick said, like just being attentive. Like, don't get me wrong, and I ain't even trying to say like I'm a love doctor and shit, but just being semi-attentive, like they will indirectly or sometimes directly tell you what they want. And like now, whether you listen or not is that's something totally different. But like sometimes they'll be like, they give you a little layup, and like, well, you did say you like this, so let me just, you know what I'm saying? Let me just apply it. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes it just be just okay. Let me just look at her for a second. Let me pay attention. Let me find the keywords of this whole paragraph about your day. Let me spit back the keywords you just said, so it seems like I listened to everything. You know, it's just a simple shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know quality time is always golden. You know, that's what they. You don't spend the time. You don't spend the time. You don't spend the time. I say, bitch, how much time do you think? I'm sorry. Did I say that like that? I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's early in the morning. It's early in the morning. Sorry. This is what I'm thinking about in my head. This is what I'm thinking about in my head. I'm not saying it. I know you were trying to
I know which one. I know which one. Not your top one. I know which one. Not your top one.
You just said that B word. You done messed up.
This is what I'm thinking in my head. I'm not saying this out loud. I'm thinking about it. I'm just telling you
what. I definitely think it's important. I'm gonna jump in. I think it's important. I know my love language is touching. When I don't get no touch around, I feel like something's wrong. I feel like something's up. And most of the time, it's true. Like let me touch her, man, then that means something's going on. I done messed up, or she's not feeling this type of way, or something like that. And my girl's is quality time, and I know if I'm not spending time with her, it's an argument. So yeah, I would agree that it's very important from the relationship wise. I had relationships that failed because of that, and that succeeded because of that. So I would definitely agree.
I think love languages are very important. When I think about the book, I had the opportunity to read it 2 times. I think the only thing I would add in there is at the beginning of the book, I would just say, before you read this, make sure you love yourself first. You don't want to spend time getting consumed of trying to learn how to please someone else, and you don't understand what makes you happy, because that's an important piece. Because most of the time, especially for men, right? Because a woman can tell you how she want to be loved. They have a handle on that. we kind of struggle of even what we even want on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? And those are things that we should figure out or whatever, like prior to or whatever. And if we haven't figured out, it's not to say not to go forth in a relationship, but you need to voice that and as for understanding that, hey, I'm trying to figure out what I love, how I need to love myself better. When I look at it, and then for me, I don't think I like have a main one. You know what I mean? Because I think it's like two, even three or whatever that I feel like, depending on the day, that's just where I'm at. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's just how my mind be working or how my personality is. Like, it's just like, I want a little bit of that today. I want a little bit of quality time today. You know what I mean? You know what? I just need some words of affirmation. I just need to come home and just feel like a king today. You know what I mean?
Here's her encouragement. Here's her encouragement.
Yeah. And that's why I say I think under like loving yourself is an important critical piece of it, is because like your partner, it could be like giving you that quality time that you say or whatever, but like that may not be all you need. So I think to balance yourself out is understanding that or whatever, and saying, okay, I see her trying on this end or whatever. I'll pick up the slack on this end and find a way to satisfy myself as far as this. Because it's just like you can get easily consumed in like what I need to do to make this person happy, but you deserve to be happy as well. So that's the only caveat I throw in there or whatever, but I definitely believe the love languages are very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
From that, I got the you greedy, man. That's what I got. You want it all. You want everything.
Yeah.
Look, a woman say pick one. It's like I'm speaking all languages. I need
I want all of. I want 12 of them. It ain't even 12 languages. What is you talking about?
We making up new languages, motherfucker.
Before I end the show, I just want to take about 2 minutes, and I want DJ to kind of tell everybody a little bit about his book. He's an author.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. You haven't heard, go out and get. My book is called Rise of the Crowd. It's about a little boy growing up in life. Got some of my life into it. So just want y'all to go out there and get it. It's a kid's book. It's for the ages really, let's say from grade 3rd to all the way up to 12th. Even if you're in college, you can get a good message from it. It's only a hard copy and paperback because these ebooks, I don't feel like kids should be getting an ebook off the internet. You know, get the hard copy, have that hard copy, and read it. So I would say go out and get it. It's Barnes and Noble. Yeah, check me out.
Good question. Is it semi? I know it's a story within it, but is it semi autobiographical? Like is some of your life inside of the story itself? Is some of your damn? Is it autobiography within the big message? Shut the hell up. Is it?
I just leave this for you. The character name is DJ, so just check it out. Get the book.
Hey, fair enough. Hey, DJ. DJ, if you ever want to do the Audible version, let me voice it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be the next Morgan Freeman.
Oh shit!
Like I told him to get that Audible version.
Yeah. I know Ricky told me that, but trust me, another one coming out, but it ain't gonna be until probably like 2025. I'm working on another project. It's not gonna be a kid's book this time, but it'll probably take about a year to get it through. But yeah, check it out. It's my first one. Check it out.
Hey, I could tell somebody I know an author. You know what I mean? That's a blessing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm proud of you. For everybody, I'm gonna post a link in the video. So if you want to go out and buy the book and support, buy 5 or 6 of them, buy 9, buy as many as you got kids. Buy them for other people's kids. You know what I mean? Buy for yourself. You know what I mean? Go out and support. Buy for your step kids. Buy for your step kids. You'll catch that one later.
Rise above the crowd, man.
Yeah.
Rise above the crowd. Make sure you get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to hear Avery narrating this story. This nigga gonna sound like Val Venus. I don't want to hear that. Hello, ladies. This is rise out of the crowd.
Hey man, with
Yo.
Morgan Freeman aging, you know what I mean? It's an opening, you know what I mean? He about to close out. It's time for somebody to step in and be the Jonathan Majors of voices around here, all right?
I just
Your
don't
ass
get
gonna be
caught on
sounding
camera
like your ass gonna be. I'm about to say your ass gonna be looking like a player the biography of John Singleton with this head on. To see the Bulls of the Hood Part 5. Oh man, yeah, damn.
All right, thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Coffee and Cigar Talk, and we out.
Do do do.